Hello, good to be with you. I'm Kristy Guo. I'm the founder of Signature Global Network. Today, I want to come here to share something that's real, which you cannot see from anywhere else. And these are the secrets that no network owner is going to tell you. Why I'm sharing this with you because I've been in the industry for more than 20 years now. I've been talking to global logistics CEOs almost every single day. And I know what you guys care, what you really want to know, and to serve the community, here are the truth. So, first of all, you may ask, how many logistics networks are there in the world? And this is a great question because every time when I have a conversation with a global CEO, they will say to me, Kristy, I receive like 10, 20 emails every day for joining their networks and stuff. What I've known from the statistics that I've started before I started this network, they were already like 400 plus. And that was more than 4 years ago, 3 plus to 4 years ago. And afterwards, I remember 2 years ago, I saw it's already 500 plus. And I can imagine right now, it will be definitely between 500 to 1,000 global networks outside there. And when I'm saying global networks, it's more about those that we've known. Maybe there are some small ones that we have no idea what they are. So it can be more than that. So to answer your question, first of all, is how many global logistics networks are outside there? It will be between 500 to 1,000. And the second question we get the most is, how do they earn money? Whoa, wow, that's a sensitive topic. You say to me, Kristy, are you sure you're going to share this? Come on, we're living in a knowledgeable world. It's never so easy to get any information you want. What is the point that I'm holding this back or hiding from anyone? Transparency is number one thing for our network. Without transparency, it's hard to bring real trust. And to answer the question, how do they earn money? How do networks earn money? Here are a few things we do, right? Back to the first thing, how many logistics networks are there in the world? I need to share quickly a few things. In 3 years, SGN has grown to 80 plus countries and over 160 plus member offices. And of course, they have tracked 2 million in generated referral value among the members, and even more than that. Some of them haven't reported to us, but it's been such an amazing journey for members who have truly got amazing income and ROI by working with our members in the network. And the second question we just mentioned is, how do logistics networks earn money? And that is a very sensitive question, coming back to that. And let's be honest, networks are also business. If we're running a network like a charity, which I really want to run a charity, and that is my nature, I love charity. We do charity. But when it comes to running a business, you have to be really serious about it. When I say serious about it, you need to bring value so people can pay you. So here are the answers being a network owner. Number one thing is we charge membership fees, right? In all the networks, they charge membership fees. And secondly, is the conference fees. We charge the conference fee. We made a lot of efforts behind the scenes to put an amazing event together so that in between there will be some service fee and stuff like that. And thirdly is the sponsorships. Without the sponsors, it's very unlikely the network can have a lot of profit because it is really hard nowadays to run a network. And I'm very honest here. I'm going to share some interesting stories that nobody would tell you anyway, but I'm going to share with you. Coming back to this, right? Except for membership fees, conference fees, sponsorship fees, there are also sometimes commissions or transactions, but we don't do much about the commission stuff. However, we do want to hire third parties and people who actually can really do amazing sales and find good people, good companies to be in the network. We are open for collaboration. And that's how usually a network earn money. A network founder once told me, he says, we sell trust, but too often they sell it once a year and vanish. It's really sad to see there are so many networks they're outside there. They've been there for 10 years or even longer, but they shrink smaller and smaller, and they end up even not be able to run any conferences at all. And just a quick one about what SGN does is we charge annual membership fees, right? but with real engagement. That's very important for us, because if there's no engagement, if we charge fees, we don't feel comfortable, and we don't even want that person to stay in the network, because if you're not active, if there's nothing happening, what's the point you join the network, and what's the point we are charging you? And that's not fair, right? Secondly, we do premium events focused on deals, not just drinks. We also talk about mindset and stuff. We have run 4 sold out conferences. And every time when someone came to our conference, particularly if they're new, they'll say to me, Kristy, your conference is so different. And I like to hear that. Sometimes we're not perfect. Like every single time after the conference, I would sit down with my team. Every time I took at least 20 notes or even more for us to improve for the next event. When I say that, it's not I'm trying to be humble or pretend whatever. Truly, there's always room for us to improve, and we're not perfect, but what we do is we focus on getting better every single year. And that's why if we earn something, we need to really make efforts and make people feel that it's worth it. And the third thing is no for SGN, we don't have any hidden fees or forced commissions, nothing at all. And that's why when you join us, like our members joining us, they just pretty much think about, okay, pay you annually, and then maximum I would also pay you their annual conference fee, and that's it. They don't have any extra worries or anything like that, because then we can focus on serving them, and they can focus on being served by our community as well. And there's some proof as well. We have about 96% member renewal rates in our the first 2 years. And the multiple members reported ROI about 5 times their membership fees. Of course, we still hear members who are saying they don't get ROI. And sometimes it's very tricky, because SGN is a bit late coming network. Before we came, they were already 400 to 500 or even more, which we don't even know outside there. And some of the network players, like our members, they have joined the other networks as well, right? So they have joined WCA, for example. Everybody knows about WCA. And it's hard for them to calculate those ones who gave them business on us. But in fact, we know that we have made a difference when they knew each other from the other network, but when they didn't really do much at all, maybe just one shipment, whatever, nothing happened lately. And then till they got together again in our network, the business started to boost again. And then they might not calculating on SGN's performance, but we respect that. As long as we've seen members flourishing and thriving, that's what we really care. Now, the third question many network players are going to ask is, what do they really say behind the scenes? This is a very interesting question, because I guarantee you, no network owners are going to tell you unless you're very close to that person and they just maybe get drunk, whatever, they share all the truth with you. But here the funny thing, right? I've known many global network owners, because before I start my own network, I was part of freight forwarders. I'm the network players. And in fact, I worked for a company called Online Shipping. I was one of the very, when I say famous, I'm not trying to sell out myself. I'm just pretty much well-known person in the network environment. And I was really good at connecting with people. I was a great connector, and also helped a lot of business growth through online time. And online has become one of the top 5, and many people know the story. But long story short, that is when really I start to understand about network, and then observe what others are doing, and also connected with people that they already know me as well. I went to those conferences and those travels. I've seen those people, and we can be great friends, because I have nothing really. Like for me, I don't think there's a lot of competitions there, because I'm doing something that's very different and unique. I'm not afraid of someone, or right, they're taking my members or stuff like that. If they need to go, they will go. You cannot control any members and say, hey, you put a knife on their neck and say, you have to stay with SGN. You are our members. You're not their members. That's really silly. Of course, there are so many network owners. They're so careful, mindful. They worry that if they disclose anything to the other networks, they're going to take their members away. Again, we cannot control what the members are doing. All we need to focus is to make sure that they are thriving. If to join more than one networks is better for them, why not? And many networks players will talk to me and say, Kristy, we have so many members, not really so many, by the way, but say, I've seen like five, six faces there in the different networks. And how can how can we change that? Like, how can we have more members who are not in these other networks and stuff? I said, yeah, I understand. I've seen that. But it depends. If these people are really good, they bring value to the network, why not having them? Of course, our focus is also to get more members from outside there. They're not in any networks yet, but they really have a lot of cargoes, passion, and things that need a network like us to support them. We do have quite some members that are not in any other networks, which is really our pride. But we are working harder more on that area and direction because we believe the future is coming and we really want to create an environment which is different than every other network outside there. And again, I'm not competing with them. They have their beauties, they have their amazing things that they're doing. We respect people who are really trying their best. Coming back to what do they really say behind the scenes? I can tell you, number one, they admit that most members don't actually share much cargo. I understand the reason behind it. Number one is those members, like we shared earlier, they join different networks and they only have that much cargo. How can they share to every individual network? For example, they already been working with someone, they handling cargo so well. Why should they just cancel that and take the risk and share the cargo with you, right? So my suggestion to my members all the time is instead of focusing on getting something from them, think about what value can you offer to them. Because when you have value, people are hard to escape. Like they just want to chase you because you bring value to them. And secondly, what we focus as well is we've got a few new members recently that they are not in any networks, but they only really doing their freehand cargo. They need someone to handle, to connect when they need some help. And these are the members we really like as well because someone comes to our networks, they're very strong in providing service, but they don't really have a lot of freehand cargo. That helps them to immediately get some experience by handling cargoes for our new members, which is really awesome. Now, the second thing, what the network owners are talking behind the scenes. You say, oh, members complain about dead partners. When they say dead partners, like they're not even active. We reach out to them, we call them, they don't even care. I don't think they want to do business with me. But hear me clearly, my friend. I've never had that thought in my mind. I'm not trying to pat myself on the back, say, Kristy, you're awesome. No, but I have experience managing the network. When before I have my own network, I really had worked so hard thinking about what can I bring to them so that they feel they can work with me rather than I don't feel they own me. No one owns you. And the problem nowadays is many people always put themselves in the center of the universe and thinking, oh, so they need to work for me. They need to work with me. I've tried my best. I've made efforts, but maybe your best is not really the best you can do. Or maybe the best is because it's best for you, but it's not best for them, right? I'm just a very honest person. I don't want to make some sweet honey words to make you feel good. I can make you feel good, but this is somewhere I'm really sharing the truth, the things that you can't find from anywhere else about the network world. So when you complain about the debt partners, maybe they're not the right partners. That can be the truth, but most of the time it's really not that because I remember I met someone in a conference before I started my own network, and that person had nothing to do with where I was. I used to work in Hong Kong, China, and they have nothing about China. And we just had very nice conversation, very nice conversation. We had chat, we became amazing friends, and the relationship is so strong. And after a few months, that person just called me and said, "Hey, we got this car from China. You are my first option." And then we made the deal, and the cargo started to increase, increase, increase. That became one of the biggest clients because we worked together so hard. And if you don't have that as a history, why can't you create a new history? Isn't that more fulfilling when you can create something together as a community? And that's what I talk to my members as well. Guys, you're not in a network just focusing on the screen or talking to words, AI, ChatGPT. We are here because we are real people, and the conversations can make things happen. And we all start from nothing, right? From zero to something. Why can't we Start something new today. Maybe today you reach out to a new sales lead and this person said, I need something from A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And then you can immediately think about the network members. Hey, I got these people there. They get my back. So they can help me with the rates and service and you can close the deal. Why not? What a privilege that you have a community, a family that you can trust, and then you can really get the deals closed without a worried heart and mind, right? Now, coming back to what do they say really behind the scenes is networks fear being just another cost. I understand that when someone joins a network, it's like, another network too many. I don't have time to commit. Honestly, in my world, I don't think it's never too many networks. When I say networking is always the more the merrier. If your cost can afford, you should join as many as possible networks. However, I do agree quality is way more important than quantity, which is why SGN focus more on organic growth rather than we have to get everybody on board. We limited the locations, regions, and that's what we do. And right now, we create a community. Many people are on the waiting list. We're not rushing to get everybody like ducks on the row and just come, come, come. I can charge you money. No, we don't want that. We want something that's really with high quality. Yes, in the last few years, we have lost a few members and we actually don't want them to stay because they're not active. They just complain all the time. And I'm not saying that it's all their fault while the network is growing, sometimes we might mislooked something or we can do better. That's why we're always thinking how we can do better to help our members. And the whole reason I started the network is also I believe that small, medium-sized freight forwarders and logistics companies have a lot of privilege, a lot of opportunities that they can win over big ones. Because I used to work in small, medium, and large-sized freight forwarders. I have seen, witnessed the opportunities amongst all these differential and the different ways how they handle clients. And there's so many clients outside there. They're waiting for you to approach to solve the problems. And that's why I'm very excited when we create this community. It can help so many more freight forwarders, logistics companies to do better. And they can also then help more clients to do better as well. Now, I remember that I went to Hong Kong 1 year ago and I've met this guy. I'm not telling his name. Obviously, he might be watching this video, but it's you. You know what I'm talking about and who I'm talking about. So this guy has been in the industry for probably 30 plus or even longer years. And I met him. I was like, I want to understand if he will be a great fit to our network. Because back then I was looking for someone from Hong Kong. We got quite a lot of inquiries. And then he shared at the very end, he's really inspired, motivated. And then later he messaged me, you know what, Kristy, I'm going to run my own network now. Well, I was happy for him. But I remember the conversation we had in Hong Kong. He shared with me, he said, I'm just trying to be like him, right? The way how he spoke. The network players, they always complain. They were thinking that the network is the one who's going to save their lives and give them cargo. They don't need to do anything. They're just crazy. They're just really crazy. I don't think like we should. I mean, if I was you, I won't like this kind of people. But funny enough, he started his own network, and I believe that he's got a lot of people that are all on board. He doesn't care who these people are, as long as they can come and pay and build up the network foundation and everything. And I was like, oh, interesting. But for me, I'm even open to welcome network owners to our network conference or even join our network because I believe about collaboration. I believe about, again, we need to be irreplaceable. That's the only way to stay further and we won't shrink. If it's so easy to be replaced, if someone can copy us or can do whatever we are doing, we just need to keep growing because if it's so easy to be copied, that means we're not good enough yet. And again, you've probably seen some videos from SGN. You've seen those network owners coming to our network conference. It's like, why do you get this guy? I got another potential client said to me, I really want to join you. You've been doing an amazing job. I'm so proud of you. And the next second he said, oh, that guy, he's a network owner. He's in your network. I'm not joining you. So, oh, that's okay. Completely up to you. I respect that. I don't understand why they're against of this competition and stuff. I think competition is really healthy. And sometimes if you can trust that person, that's way more important than just being isolated and say, I am just isolate island, don't touch me, you go your way, I go my way. Here's the thing. We are all humans. We are here to support each other. And I believe that if because of our existence, people are getting better and the business are growing more, that's where the joy, the true joy will lie on. And that's how true fulfillment will occur. And that's how I make it as a mark for me whenever I'm doing, whether it's in my life, if my team members are getting better, their life is getting better. If my members are getting better, their life is getting better. I will be so happy. And that means my mission is completed, right? I've been chatting to one of the members in Shaman and he shared with me, hey, he shared a photo with me and said, I've got more people now. I'm so happy. My business is growing so well. I chatted with another member. He said, yeah, our business is awesome. I just need a little bit of rest. It's so busy to handle everything. But I still hear people are outside there saying, the economy and government and all these things, Trump tariff. Come on, if we focus on the things that we can do, if we really know how to serve people and bring value, nothing can stop us. Nothing can really make your business slower. So these are the secrets about what really they're saying behind the scenes, right? And our approach again is we have real accountability and we have active matching. Our team regularly connecting with members and ask them which trade lanes that they're doing more and they connect them with each other so that they can sometimes they're just shy because not everyone is extrovert. Some people are pretty shy. They're still good at operating and doing things, but we just need a little bit kick and say, hey, you can talk to them, you can talk to each other. So we do that. The match really helps so that they can work together with the next inquiries and stuff like that. Now, the monthly members course, we do have regular members course, whether it's directly one-on-one, or we also have the online monthly course that we have members. They are there sharing insights, which I heard recently when I went to the US and one of the US members, they're actually in 7 networks in the world. He said to me, Kristy, there's one thing I really want to share with you. I really appreciate that. There's none of the networks that they're doing what you do. I said, what is it? He said the online call and stuff and sharing these things. And yeah, I was really touched because it is so hard. Honestly, even members who are listening to this message, it's very hard to keep everybody coming on board and regularly come to the call. That's why we don't get everyone. If we get everyone, 160 people or even more on the call, we don't. But as we keep going, being consistent, we are serving clients whenever they need us. They come to the call, they feel belonging to, they have information they can take away, they can use that opportunity to introduce themselves, and they increase the business opportunities as well. So that's pretty much what we do. And okay, so the next question, most asked questions, and the secrets nobody really tells you is, what are the challenges networks face? So the number one thing, I'm pretty sure this is number one thing, no matter it's a network or if you're running a business, it's pretty much the same, is member retention. When it comes to member retention, people just are not very consistent. When they chose to join a network, they just say, I'm going to try. When you say you try, usually you're going to fail. Because I believe that whenever you use try, it's like, I'm just gonna try a little bit, one foot in, one foot out. You're always gonna end up leaving. And which is why we used to giving this opportunity for members to come and try, but now we're more serious about when you come on board. We rather you don't come on board so quickly. Think about it, really be committed to it. And when you're committed to it, at least invest 3 to 5 years because that's where the magic happens. You really invest your full heart, mind, energy to the network, not just thinking about taking everything from someone. None of these relationships will last. If you are dating with someone thinking, I'm wondering, how can he give me something or she give me something? And imagine if you were in others' shoes, the relationship will end very soon. And it's the same applying to the network. So if you're thinking you're gonna try, this is a story I really need to share, and it drives me crazy, right? This is struggling behind the scenes. And I got a potential member, my team got this guy on board, and this guy said, okay, I don't want to be in the network group. I don't want to on the WhatsApp group. Just send me inquiries whenever you need to. Send me email. I don't want to talk to anyone. And then after a year, I mean, in between, we always try, hey, do you need this? Don't talk to me. Only come to me when you have inquiries. Oh my gosh, the mindset is crazy, right? There's so many crazy stories behind the scenes. I'm just sharing one of the stories, obviously. And of course, he ends up leaving and he didn't want to extend the membership because he has no efforts. And I can imagine what's happening behind the scenes. He must be joining many other networks and got no result either. Because sometimes it's really not about the network itself, it's really the way how you are handling your business and your attitude, your mindset. Why are there so many people in SGN? They are getting results, but when there's still a small amount of people, they might not get as much. They think they're trying their best, but maybe they haven't done their best. I mean, when they say their best, your potential is way surpass your best. And of course, with the network support is very important as well. That's why if you are listening as a SGM member, remember we're here to support you. You're not alone. This is where you need to take advantage of using the resource that we have already for you. And the next thing, what the challenges networks are facing is the proving ROI. Well, when I say that, I know members who are really getting a lot of business with each other because they showed me, they told me, but it's very hard to track everything nowadays because everybody's using different systems, right? And someone can say they've done this, but you don't know if they really done that. Or someone say, I have no business from SGN, but they might have some business from SGN. They just couldn't track it. This is really challenging for us as well. But you know what? We are focusing on people in the network. We've done our best we can. So they get their ROI. That's great. Sometimes it's really hard to track. That's why we highly recommend our members to also track not just on money itself, but also on the mindset, on the relationship growth with other members, and also their overall business growth as well. Because we are very focused on really growing the whole business rather just thinking about, okay, you get one business from that guy, and that guy. How can you sharpen your swords? How can you sharpen your tools so that you can also get ready for next opportunity? You never know when the next opportunity comes, right? I know one of the members recently who shared with me that they have 300 containers per month, and he just reached out and said, hey, should I use this guy, right? They asked me for opinions. Said, yeah, go ahead. And now this guy who has been in the network only for a year got this business 300 containers per month. That's amazing. But sometimes if you're not consistent enough, if you're not staying in the network longer enough, you're going to lose all the investment and time, energy, even the money you invest in the network, because when it comes, you already gone. And that's why, as a network owner, I've witnessed all this loss. I was like, oh my gosh, I wish this guy's still here. It's really, don't think about short term, think about long term. Everything is a long term game. If you are in a marathon, if you are in a long term game, you never lose, you always win. And the third thing is competition. Networks are facing competition because there's so many similar networks outside there. They're almost the same. What's the point you joining the same networks and you're seeing the same group of people every single time? You're wasting your money. You're paying 10 times more, but you actually only need to pay once. And which is why for those who are in our networks, we said, hey, think about it. If you join our network, we try to really provide something that the other networks don't provide. And of course, we also have a lot of resources about my connections on LinkedIn. For example, I have 12K plus and 13 almost. And then other social media and stuff. I have so many logistics CEO fans and friends online on there. Like I literally can get anyone from anywhere in the world for you if you need it. But it doesn't mean they all have to join a network because sometimes it's too risky to get someone with like they might don't want to join the network or they don't even need the network, whatever the answer is. But as long as you can solve your problem, you don't have to join 10 networks and pay 10 times more fees, right? That's why I can understand for those network owners that they're struggling with competition is because the buyers, which you guys, if you're freight forwarders, right, you're thinking, why should I pay more? I only need to choose one. And I'm happy if you're already in a network that you're happy with and that it's growing. It provides new things regularly for you and support your business to grow as well. Then stay there. You don't have to join us yet because we are really here to support people who feel belonging to our community, and we're very selective. And if you are interested, jump to the waiting list and hopefully we still have a slot there for you. Now, the next thing is credit risk. Networks are offering credit protection and stuff, but there's a lot of deep debt outside there. And I've heard terrible stories. And I'm glad that we are pretty good because I always say to the members, hey, I'd rather go through more at the beginning, find the right people on board so that we don't end up going through all this pain afterwards. Then but many people are just saying, on board, charge money, ching, 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 all the money charged, and then a lot of trouble, and you have spent 10 times more time, energy, and money to deal with all this mess. So I understand the credit risk is a big problem, and it's probably very much aligned with your business. You can have credit risk with your clients. So be really careful when you get someone on board. Don't just because you're so hungry for cargo, you don't do any research, you don't do any credential checking, and it's not good for you. You think about long term, please. Think about long term game, not just short term. And then tech disruption is another challenge as well. Nowadays, with all the AI options outside there, I'll leave this for you to think about it. But that is what the challenges networks are facing in general. And that remember, one network owner confessed they lost 20% of members because they couldn't prove value. Another built a guarantee system but struggled to enforce payments globally because there's a lot of work behind the scenes. And honestly, members are still not satisfied because we're dealing with humans. Humans are usually, we are designed 90% of the time, the brain will be tend to be negative rather than positive. But the 10% at the top of the world, they're pretty much the best performers in the world. So let's be reminded, let's be the extraordinary 10%, not always complaining about what you don't get. Think about how can you like change the question instead of saying, why can't I get something from this? Why? Why? Just ask, how can I get more from the network? How can I work more to get more collaboration and cooperation? That will make a huge difference coming to the result and outcome. All right. Now, our solutions when it comes to these problems, right? We have protection for gold members above and transparent referral tracking. Well, that's the referral part and quality focused recruitment. As I mentioned earlier, we don't just randomly get anybody on board and exclusive tech partnerships, but we really are creating some lead generation systems for our company and also helping our members on these areas as well. Now, so far, zero record major payment dispute to date. Thank God. And second, over 400 member to member transactions tracked in our first 3 years, which is, I think, is quite an achievement. It's not easy at all, but we've done it. I want to say thank you for those who are members still watching this video. Thank you so much for your support and your contribution, your performance. That makes a huge difference. Now, the number 5 question is, who are the best logistics players, the dream customers of networks? Are you? Because yeah, you pat yourself. Yeah, I'm a great network player. I think so. Yeah, I believe it's me. Hopefully that's you. Usually here are the 3 top elements for those dream customers for us and for the other networks as well. Number 1 is middle-sized forwarders with global ambitions, right? If you are middle-sized and you just say, I'm happy in where I am, that's not the best clients because you're not willing to grow. And you, with all the resources as a network, you can immediately grow much faster, compete even with the big guys, no problem. So we love middle-sized forwarders with global ambitions. That makes a difference. That can help us to work together more. So you can invest more time, energy in collaboration and cooperation so that grow your business immediately to the roof and even far and beyond. And the second group of people is niche specialists like e-commerce, perishables, and stuff. These are great clients because they can handle specific things. In our network, we haven't really had a niche separated yet, but we really welcome those kind of members because we know that when it comes to expertise, it has to really talk to the expert. Everybody just say, I can do anything, I can handle anything. That doesn't really help. We rather prefer to get someone say, we're very strong in this, we're very strong in that, so that they can focus on dealing with those kind of things. So this group of people are very popular, and they are our dream customers and many other network stream customers. And the third part of the group is companies who invest in relationships. We love those members, and I want to call out a few funny members outside there and the gold members who recently have joined the golden group. And I really want to say thank you, because of your belief, you got ROI, you got things exchanged in relationships, and sometimes you probably don't get that business straight away, but because of investment in relationships, it paid off as time goes by, and in fact way more far beyond than what you paid, honestly, because relationship is a key to all success when you do any business, when you do any kind of things. Now, our results is 80% of members are independent. They're firms hungry for growth. They're really hungry, say, hey, Kristy, how we can do more in this. I'm really happy to hear that, because if they're so quiet, they're comfortable in where they are, there won't be much space to grow, because if you don't even try to find a way to grow, if you don't want to grow, you won't. And secondly, we've got partners carefully. We really get them carefully and avoid like those like nothing happening offices who don't share leads. We try to encourage everyone to share leads and to exchange information, not just always about sending inquiries to 2,000 people and the 2,000 people working on the same inquiry. That is ridiculous. We want to make sure that they are really doing the right thing, because we are creating a better environment, not just for ourselves, for the members, and also for the future generations as well. Because the network, the whole business world is actually a bit messy, because everybody wants their share and thinking about themselves all the time. It's nothing wrong to think about yourselves, but if you think much bigger in the long term, the result is way more rewarding and better than you can imagine. Number 6, how many types of logistics networks are there? In short, there are a few types. Number 1, general cargo networks. Pretty much we are the general cargo network, but we probably more belong to the people's network, because we focus more on the relationship and trust for people and connecting with people and their legacy. We very much focus on legacy, and we try to make sure that members who join us not just transform their business, but also transform their lives and personal lives and self-growth as well. Second type is specialist networks like perishables, farmer, and projects. And the third one's exclusive, closed, one per country. I ever thought of going that path, but it's really not realistic. So I did not go to that path. But there are networks there. They only get one per country. And I met a network owner in Chicago, and he shared that he has 60 plus members, and one from each country. They meet once a year. They're pretty happy, but there's no membership fee needed. You just come together as a group. That's it. It's a pretty great idea if you want to. I like it, but we're not like that kind. And then the next one is non-exclusive open. So they can receive as many as possible, like WCA, Jason Trends, all these networks. They just get as many as Maria, so you can pay more. I'm not judging them, because they have the things that they are doing well, but these are these kind of networks. And the next one is digital virtual only. They only focus on digital and virtual stuff, and you just join the networks, you pay the annual fee, that's it. So this is our position. We are high touch personal relationships and modern technology. We don't just focus on, business itself. We more focus on the relationships and the people's personal touch, particularly with AI coming in nowadays. It's crazy. And secondly, we still do technical stuff. We teach members and to stay on top of the technology, knowledge and everything, so that they never be out of date. We also have broad experience and service scope, but we also create customized memberships to make sure that would meet the members' needs. So we host public webinars and private member trainings. We connect niche experts within our community. We got some experts, for example, e-commerce. And also we have even the Logistics Connect members, such as insurance and accounting, tax agency consultant, that they can help our members when they have any questions and any needs. We build a signature sphere, like a completely business ecosystem, that when you need anything for your business, how to grow, you have questions, you have somewhere you can trust and you can go to. Wow, I've been sharing a lot of things on this. I just want to quickly conclude this, right? I want to say thank you so much for listening, and I hope the information has really helped you. And we have, as SGN, we don't just promise miracles, we promise partnerships. And we're not here to be the biggest. We want you to be most trusted. And we've had to face through these tough truths, right? But what members want, what they fear, and what makes them stay, we have to face all of this stuff. But that's exactly why SGN is different. We are not selling a fantasy, we're building a real living network, and that actually works and will last. Thank you. Let's keep building the future of global logistics together.